Shaman King keeps coming up with these beautiful twists and turns. I really do like it, so let's go talk about it this morning. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Kick Up Flex. My name is Christine. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you had a really great weekend, and I hope your Monday's starting off just the way you want it to. Either way, we're going to start off with the Shaman King episodes 43 through 45, and thank you for being here as well. Hal and Anna fighting each other, I really do like. Especially Anna fought him by herself, and that was really great. For the simple fact is, she held her own long enough for Yo to get there. But before we even get to that aspect, she made him run low on mana, which is a lot to say for somebody who has 1.25 million mana, and everybody's just literally afraid of this person. And everyone knows that they can't beat him. Even Anna can't beat him. But at the same exact time, she is enough of a threat because she was holding something back the whole entire fight. And he just wanted to see what it was. Just because he can. And that goes to show you the scariness of that aspect. But I don't think they ever really get that point across at all. The big thing that Hal was annoyed with in this fight is that he couldn't read her mind. And I think that is going to be a wonderful weapon to use against them, because that means Anna can formulate any kind of idea or plan in her own mind and it be safe and use it at the right time by telling people at the exact moment it needs to be done. And therefore that creates more like an Achilles heel for Hal, and I think that's why he's very much intrigued with Anna. And I do have a theory about it, but I'm going to explain it in just a little bit. Either way, when Yo comes into the picture, I'm thinking that they're going to fight because he just came from hell. No, they decide to go out for coffee and have some brotherly love time because they've never really had it. And I can understand why Yo did it, because that is his brother that he never really knew that he had. And he finally got to meet his brother and have a conversation without it being interrupted, without anybody else. And of course it's going to feel weird because you want to love somebody who is evil, but at the same time he's evil and killing people and you don't want that to happen. But either way, Yo was there to be there for his brother. And I think that is starting to create a weakness within Hal, though it's not really showing at the present time. But at the same time, it is a starting point to something where they are creating a connection of some sort. With getting to know Hal these last few episodes, my big question is, how did Hal's team not know that he could read minds? It seems like it was like almost so obvious. Everyone that was powerful enough kind of knew that he could read minds. So my big question is, why didn't his own team? Unless they were just literally that dumb and just kind of followed his orders blindly. And that to me just really didn't make sense on why they just kind of felt betrayed by him. Not like it would have mattered anyways, because he probably was just going to kill them and eat them in the long run just to make himself more powerful, which ended up happening anyways when he made himself more powerful and reached like a pinnacle point of this like super armor that's good for defense and attack. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how his team did not know that. But either way, it is what it is, and they just kind of stood oblivious. Now, along with that, though Hal can read minds and can't read Anna's mind, my theory is, and let me know if you kind of agree with this theory, is that because she had the ability when she was younger to read other people's minds and for some reason lost it after she got saved by Yo, maybe that gives her a defense against the mind reading abilities that Hal does have. So that is kind of like my theory behind it. Let me know if you think that will be concrete enough to actually stand up to something, because the only reason I think it does, and the show really didn't explain it, and I haven't really read the manga, so if you did, please let me know down in the comments again, is that, you know, everything's run off of kind of like this mana or energy, and therefore she once had it, so therefore she can recognize it. But either way, I think it's a natural defense that she does have. Moving on to the more important part that I was waiting for, which is Ren versus Yo's team. When they fight each other, I was really excited and I was like, yes, let's get it on. And either way, it just did not freaking happen the way I wanted to. I wanted to see what Ryu can do, and I wanted to see what Faust can do, but they just didn't do nothing. I mean, literally nothing, but just, you know, heal Yo, and Yo is just showing off his strength, and I'm like, oh, it's great. And what about Joko, who got so powerful? Just literally, nothing with him. He just kind of, they almost in a way kind of wrote him off. Horo, he's like super powerful. He can punch you and like literally take off your arm, but no one really cared. And Ren is controlling legitimate lightning, and they're all controlling nature of some sort, and that's great. But my question is kind of like, okay, y'all are just willing to kill each other because you have people who can bring you back from the death, and apparently like it's just, there's almost free reign, and the only thing you guys are talking about is how strong and how confident your soul is in this fight, and the one who will be Shaman King will be the one with an unwavering soul or spirit. I got confused there on the message that they were trying to give, like the whole entire time. I'm just sitting there going, I guess, just, I don't necessarily agree with it, but either way, it wasn't my most favorite fight, and I'm kind of glad that Lyserg stopped the hell out of it, because, apparently he keeps getting boosts left and right, and I don't know if he's stronger than them or weaker than them. I don't know. It just, didn't really make sense. All we know is that he entered into a battle that is supposed to be shielded by any kind of disruption, but apparently not during this fight. So let's not include that right now. And since I mentioned healing, in this series, healing has gone from, hey, it's brand new, to holy shit, we have like 3 or 4 people that can bring you back from the dead, that can heal your wounds, that can heal your whole entire limb. Like what is the extent of healing? It's almost like you can be an immortal. Like you can live to like 100 years old, literally die a natural death, and be brought back to life. Like seriously, like what is that? Like, I could understand there being a limit to healing, but there is like literally no limit to this healing. Everyone keeps dying repeatedly. They all keep getting brought back to life. My question is when does it stop? And does it take any kind of like your own spirit or soul energy or your own life source away from you? I mean, there just doesn't seem to be any kind of balance when it comes to bringing someone back to life or sending them to the afterlife. Like there could be a whole nother way that we could have done this, but apparently this is the way they want to do it, and it is just literally insane at this point in time. And I've just kind of given up on life and death when it comes to this show, because if you die, it doesn't matter, they can bring you back. Well, if you're a human or a shaman, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just kind of scratching my head thinking, oh, okay, well, as long as you have a healer, you have nothing to really fear, do you? And which begs the question, no wonder why humans want this power. Why? Because they have the power over eternity, the power over life and death, and the ability to change things and repair things that get taken away from people. Are there such things as consequences as being disabled? Which begs to question in my head, if Faust was also a healer and has the ability to bring people back to life and repair people's whole entire limbs, why was he in a wheelchair to begin with? Do these people just want to be disabled just because they can be disabled? I don't know. It leaves a little bit of a bad taste into my mouth, just a little bit. I digress though, and we're going to move on to the elements that kind of, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. Like for example, is going to be the earth element, which kind of resembles a tree. Reasons why I was like, oh, okay, his personality makes sense now. He is like an old tree, just kind of like the one who will stand there as that wall, as that one you can lean on because of his knowledge and stuff like that. Because he does have greater knowledge for his age. At the same time, he is the most still person out of the whole entire group. Then you have Horo, who will become the water spirit, who can produce large amounts of water, which then can be turned into ice, which would almost make him literally unstoppable at that point in time and literally destroy all kinds of nature. And then you have Lyserg, who is on the other side going to be fire because of his inner hatred. So technically, he is like a good, bad version of Hal, because he has his hatred, but he's burning the hatred into good by controlling his own inner hatred so it doesn't consume him. Sure, why not? That works. And then you have Joko, who is becoming wind because of his speed. Okay, I respect that. And then you have Ren, who's going to be the lightning spirit because he has lightning in his spells. So sure, why not? And then we're going to jump to the big dog, Hal, who has all of these spirits currently, who has to end up releasing all of these spirits when he decides to become the Shaman King. So I just everybody's fighting pretty much for no reason at all. So pretty much everybody's just fighting for no reason, because if you think about it, even if you damage his physical body, unless you can damage his spirit itself, which when he goes in there and they have to protect his body as he dies, it's not going to make a difference at the end. So those are really the interesting things that we ended up learning. And the next episode is going to be how they all finally band together temporarily. An alliance that will not last is going to be the next 3 episodes. And I cannot wait. And yes, that is what I'm naming it. Alliance that cannot last in the Shaman King. So I hope you enjoyed. It's probably going to be a very short portion of it, of the 3 episodes, but that's clearly okay. I don't mind. Either way, it seems that we keep going with the 3 episode kind of mini arcs, and that's what I kind of like, because why? It keeps the story moving. If you liked anything, let me know down in the comments. Let me know who your favorite character is so far, because I would really love to know. And what power do you like the most? So you might not be necessarily the same character, and it might not necessarily be the same power, but just let me know who you would combine and how that would actually benefit in a wonderful shaman fight. I kind of want to bring that up, and I'll also add my favorite character and power as well in my next video, just because I have to think about it a little bit. Either way, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, hit that like button, because it does help me out, that YouTube algorithm, and don't forget to click the bell notification for when I post something. You won't miss nothing, and most importantly, don't forget to kick up and not down, and I'll see you the next time I post. Peace.